Alright guys, so welcome to episode 4 of my F1 2015 Manor career mode, this time for the Russian Grand Prix. And here we are in practice, straight into practice highlights for you guys. And if you would wish to skip this bit, so to qualifying, I'll leave a duration up the top around about now. So you can skip to that point and get into qualifying, which is the main nitty gritty of things. But here we are basically in practice. We're doing a track compensation again, just try and get those points in we need to do to get the upgrades in the car, as we're trying to do, because it's really, right now we're sort of struggling to get the upgrades in the car, because these sort of things, these tests are quite difficult. I mean, apart from track acclimatization, it's quite easy, but the tyre wear tests and qualifying seems quite difficult actually, because they set the bar quite high. As you can see, we're just going through all the laps that we did for this track acclimatization to get all those points that we need for those resource points, so we can get the upgrades on for later on in the season, which is what we want to do. We want to get those points in, and that's really what we need to try and do to get this car faster, because we are closing the gap to Sauber and Renault. They're really our main rivals this season. In my opinion, I don't see us catching anyone else. So our battles with them really for this rest of the season, but yeah, our pace here, it should have been not too bad, but I was really struggling with the car in terms of grip. I mean, it felt nice. I actually put a little bit more wing on the car than normal for this track. If it was like a Mercedes, I'd probably stick with like 7.5 wings, but here I was running 8.6, so I put a little bit more wing on the car because I know how bad this car really is in the corners. So I put a little bit more front wing on and rear wing on as well, and that's what I did really. And here we are just going to simply retire from the session, I think, or what are we doing here? Oh, we're turning back to garage. Alright, so we're going back to garage now, and we did some medium running, but actual fast pace. We actually did some pace here, a little bit of running here, some laps, actual laps without doing any objectives for the team. And here we'll just try and do a lap here, try to set up decent laps on the medium tyres. But at this point of the weekend, I was actually struggling. I mean, I was really struggling with the grip. I wasn't getting the lap time I wanted out of these medium tyres, for these medium tyres were actually quite terrible on this track, and we are improving obviously, which is as to be expected, because on track compensation you don't want to be pushing too hard, you just want to be trying to get the gates done in purple or green or whatever, get them decent, and that's what you really need to do. So that was pretty much that done. We do retire from the session here, and we do end the session down in 22nd, I believe. Which is probably where we're at, 20 seconds. So last place, like pretty much usual, for some races. So this race seems a little bit of a dodgy one for us, because we put more wing on the car really. I mean, actually, look at Pascal Vella, smashing that on medium tyre. So we are struggling here, compared to the AI, which is, unusual, because Rush is quite not a bad track for me. But that's where we stand in practice 1, and practice 2 was all about trying to do a very similar job. But now I was trying to do other things like time management and qualifying pace and all that stuff, was probably to do what we need to do for this next session. So here's practice 2, and we're just trying to do we're going to go to practice 2 in a minute, as we get some resource points and update on what we get. We're on 438 currently, and this should boost us up to how many? We should be around 513. So that's pretty nice, pretty good amount of points now, and we're climbing the points as we get along, and hopefully. I mean, looking at the upgrades here, we're looking maybe at maybe a chassis weight. It's quite an expensive part, but that it does improve the car more, as we saw in the last episode. That sort of update does improve the car. That's where the car needs work. Not so much the ignition system, but there's a lot of it is the engine and downforce and the chassis weight. That's a lot of what we need to improve on. And maybe later on in the season, if we get the chassis weight on, that'll be what we need to do. So here's in practice 2. We're doing some, I think. This is quality pace. We actually did some. We did do some tyre wear tests. The thing is, I failed them. So no point me showing you something that I failed, because there's no point. This car is so competitive. They set the bar so high, and for me, I can't physically beat those times. Because I think that on Ultimate AI, they do on the Ultimate setting, they don't consider what you can actually do with that car. So here I was trying to do laps, trying to hit the target time. And I was struggling. I was getting near it, to be honest. I was not doing too badly against it, but it was just for me in this car 39. Really, no, I don't. In my opinion, I don't actually. In my heart, I don't believe that that's even possible in this car. So I felt I was a little bit strict on that side of things. I was trying to push on, try and do it, but I had to give up pretty much. I knew that for a while that on a lap on super softs, I wasn't going to beat the time. I was going to go slower. So here at the end session, where do we finish? We should finish sort of higher than, about 60. Is that? Yeah, it's 18th. It's not too bad actually. But we should be there on the super supply. It should be maybe a bit higher actually. So Pace not looking that great, really. I mean, Verline did on Tips actually, he did a, not a brilliant time himself, 43, so he was a bit off the pace there. So I don't know what he was doing actually in practice 1, because he was quite quick in the medium, so bit odd, but not too bad at all, really. But pace not looking that brilliant. But now in practice 3, he started to bring it down, and I thought, obviously after China, we were pretty quick in China in the practice session. Here, some areas of the track, we can see we actually are going faster than the entire time, and I feel like I had a good chance of actually beating this. We were doing some qualifying pace here in the wet. I just showed here, I just couldn't. Again, this car was like a boat around this track. I think this car does not suit for some reason. It might be to do with the wing that I put on the car. 86 maybe a little bit too high. But then again, I think in these conditions you do need that sort of amount of grip. And we're not too bad actually around this track. It's just I think traction is the problem with this car. The car is very very ancillary for me, and I didn't really enjoy driving this car on this track at all. I'm in the wet or the dry, so and normally our wet pace is pretty decent. We saw in China, and we can see coming on to the end of this lap, and we will be there. A lot of our time was just in the last sector. It wasn't so much the first 2 sectors; it was the last sector, so we're losing it there. And here I just sort of knew that there was no point in pushing anymore, so I decided to actually just quit the test. I think in the end, and actually did I quit? No, I think I continued on. I thought this actually was going to be a decent lap. You see, already improving. We didn't quit the test, and we carried on and just trying to see what we can do. And just a lot of it is here. A lot of it is traction with this car. The car is very meh on the traction side of things. So I was just trying to push as hard as I could, and just do what I can right now. We're still improving in this sector. It was the first 2 sectors were fine. It was the last sector more where we struggled with gaining time. We lost a lot of time in the last sector, which is where all traction is at. So something to improve on, I think. Something to improve on for this car as general, downforce wise, and the car in general is struggling with just traction. It's a very hard car to drive, and it's a bit of a struggle right now. But once we put the updates on, I'm sure we'll probably put on 2 updates this season. And I decided at this point I was going to save it for chassis weight this weekend. We didn't put any updates in the car at all, and I thought we'll risk it for biscuit, see how do well in Russia. And the fact is we didn't really, it wasn't the car was very meh around this track, which is a very unusual thing because it's got a lot of straights. So I could be very competitive on this track, but it just wasn't to be. So I knew that at this point, I thought, what, improve the handling of the car. Strong speed was not a problem, and it was just the handling where we needed to improve downforce and chassis weight. And going for the line here, we did fail to set the third off as well, which is very, very miserable, miserable times right now. And I'm just gonna simply retire from the section here and end up probably down in last place once again, like practice 1. So yeah, that's pretty much practice over. Not the best. We did what we could with with the car we have right now, and the AI difficulty is very high and very difficult. But we love a challenge, and I'm not doing too bad so far. And we're not really off. We're not as far off the pace as we were in dry, so that's not a bad thing. But that's pretty much all practice over, and we'll go into the lobby right now, I believe. Yep, we do, and we do get some resource points for that. And that should put us up to probably near to 600, I believe. No, it's 572, so not bad, we're getting there. Here's some voicemail.
Hi, it's Emma. Your qualifying goals came up in the board meeting this morning. Here's what to expect.
So their session goals: qualify 21st or higher, or and beat Pascal Verline. So really, I think they're quite fair. Our last couple of races has been 20th or higher, so 21st or higher, pretty decent. And to beat Pascal is a decent achievement. Basically, just beat our teammate, especially what the aim was. But here we go for qualifying.
Welcome F1 fans, where qualifying will be starting in the next few minutes as the teams prepare to get out on track at the Sochi Autodrome here in Russia. This is the kind of track that eats rear tyres for breakfast, or so I'm told by more experienced drivers than myself.
Well, tyre management is key here, specifically the rears. It's all too easy to overheat and wear the rear tyres as they're punished out of the low-speed corners. Most teams won't be able to avoid some kind of issue here, especially the teams that are running less downforce.
Down to us first lap in qualifying right now, and we're just trying to do a decent time here in qualifying 1. We're not going to get through, realistically, we know that for sure, that we won't get through into Q2. Only if the car gets better and better, but here on 65, actually the car felt remarkably better than it did in practice, and we see we're going very wide here, losing track, the traction and the understeer this car has, and visibly we're down on Hamilton, and the last sector now, and last corner, sorry for that guys, and last corner now we need a good exit, and it's only a 41, that's a very poo lap to be honest. So we kept on continuing, I think, we did another lap in the session, and we're actually continuing on for this lap, and just try again and just do another lap time, hopefully being able to beat this lap that we did. I'm sure we can do it faster than the 41.8, we did faster than that in practice too, so we know that we can go faster here. I was just trying to go ultra aggressive in this lap, and just do what we can, run it in rich, just risk it for a biscuit, just drive the car as hard as we can, get the most out of it, because I knew it's going to be a bit of a struggle after practice, and yeah, hope you guys, actually I'm going to leave you guys with the lap actually, and enjoy the engine sounds of that, so yeah, have a listen. Guys, with our first lap in the session at 140.2, and that was a very fast lap actually for me, but still, Fairline beat us, needed an OP time of 39.4, what was that I thought? Yeah, 39.3, so actually it was 9 times faster than us in qualifying, and that was a bit of an upset really. I mean, I felt that was a pretty decent time, and you know, for Fairline to 39 was, you know, pretty decent. I think it's a little bit too fast for Ultimate AI running that track, so yeah, that's the way it is. You've got to be my teammate. That's, you know, they are faster in qualifying than they are in the race, and that's the way it is. But here, back in the lobby again, we are getting some more resource points for the session. We didn't meet our objective either, actually, which actually hurt us a bit. But yeah, 605 resource points. We're getting closer to that 1000 mark, which is what we need to do to get the chassis update. So, in a rivalry with Pascal Bell, not the best. We are getting beaten pretty much hands down, but I think in this stage of our career, it doesn't really matter as long as we meet the objectives of the team, and that's really all matters. So much you lose a little bit in terms of reputation in the team. But yeah, there's the voicemail.
Hi, it's Emma here. Just wanted to let you know what the team are hoping for in the race.
There are objectives. Qualify as a higher and beat Pascal Airlines, so that should be achievable. But here we go for the race.
Good afternoon from Sochi as we prepare to get underway for the Russian Grand Prix. The championship battle has some time to go yet, but still expect no quarter to be given here on this circuit that made its debut in 2014 and has already seen some classic racing. Built on the shores of the Black Sea, the Sochi Autodrome is a 3.6-mile tour around some of the venues built for the 2014 Winter Olympic Games. Close barriers may make overtakes more challenging, but with 56% of the lap taken absolutely flat out, we certainly won't be wanting for pure speed. A fitting arena then to do battle at the pinnacle of motorsport. And alongside me to take you through it all is none other than Anthony Davidson. This was a circuit that I think in its inaugural race got off to a bit of a shaky start, but since then it's really drawn the fans in and become a very popular event. What do you think changed?
Well, this just goes to show the importance of fixing problems as and when you discover them. As a complete unknown quantity in 2014, the tyre choice was quite conservative, which didn't really allow much in terms of different strategy options. So it was pretty much as you were from lights to flag. But that was a great learning experience, and we came back the next year and had a really exciting Grand Prix, with battles for the podium going on all the way to the final lap. So hopefully we'll be treated to more of the same this year.
We've qualified above where we expected to be, so try your best to hold on to this position in the race.
So before the off, let's remind ourselves of yesterday's qualifying session with a look at the starting grid. Nico Rosberg will start his silver arrow from pole position, with Sebastian Vettel starting alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Verstappen, Daniel Ricciardo and Raikkonen, Kvyat, Massa, Sainz and Sergio Perez, Bottas, Hülkenberg, Kevin Magnussen and Palmer, Ericsson, Nasser, Fernando Alonso and Jenson Button, Wehrlein and Manor, Romain Grosjean and Esteban Gutierrez completes the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
So here we go for the race. We're actually in 20th place, and the two Hasses are behind us, even though we actually qualified down in 22nd. So actually, not too bad actually being in front of the two Haas boys. I'm guessing there's some sort of like penalties. I don't know. It doesn't actually show us why they were down in those positions. But all I know is we qualified in front of them. That's pretty much it. I'm not going to show you guys the formation lap. I think you've seen it too many times now. You've seen it. It's boring. It's a waste of time in the video. So here we go, guys, for the race of the Russian Grand Prix. I'm going to ride for 5 red lights for this first lap of the Russian Grand Prix. 5 lights. We are lights out, and away we go for a pretty decent start on the super tyres, and a very good start indeed into between the two McLaren boys, and they're actually going to go around the outside of NASA, hopefully, and there's a massive clusterfuck in front of us with the Renaults battling away, and Ericsson, and intersection with NASA, going to try and go up the inside of turn 1, and we should be able to make some stick, very close with NASA, and a little bit of touching his tyres, and going to try and go around the outside of Bottas. He's made a mistake, and had a bit of contact with Perez, I think it was, and right into 12th place. A very good start indeed to this Russian Grand Prix behind Hülkenberg and Perez. The two Force Indies are going to go up the inside of Hülkenberg here, and yes, nice move there into 11th place, and a very good start. We've come all the way back from 20th into 11th place already, and we're right behind Perez, who's getting a little bit held up right now. They're all bunching up. First lap, not very quick, so we know this. We're trying to take this advantage whilst we have it, because we won't get another opportunity. And right now we're doing very well right now. Rip Perez, sort of struggling with the heavy fuel, I think, but the car wasn't feeling too bad actually on heavy fuel, surprisingly, compared to other races, so that's not too bad. I think the extra wing is actually helping us in the race, so our race pace was better than our qualifying pace, which is again a good thing. But right now, we're in section of Perez. We're going to try and go for an overtake, hopefully, but I think he's got a little bit less aero than us, a little bit less wing on the car, and we're going to try and go up the inside here from a long way back. Do we make this one? No, we have a little look, and we got the corner there, sorry about that, guys. But yeah, losing a little bit of time. They were right there with Perez. In this last sector, we should be actually okay in this last sector because of the higher wings, and with heavier fuel, we do need those higher wings. And I found that in the race, actually having a little bit of a touch higher wings on this car helped us a lot in the slow sectors. And well, a very good start to the race, already into 11th place, and hopefully we can challenge a little bit more. We actually are racing, so this is great. Last corner there, another corner cut. I'm sorry guys, I was pretty much off, just not paying attention right now. And we're actually right behind Perez by this lap 2. And we're going to go up the inside of him and Sainz, and he will a little bit overtake there, a little overtake, but we let him go. I'm going to try and go up the inside of Sainz right now, and we should get this job done up the inside, and a little bit of lock up, but nice, yeah, up to 9th place. That's a great move. And yeah, brilliant. And coming on to lap 3 now, and Perez had DRS, and I'm trying to let him have the inside line, but we lock up, go very deep on the brakes in the 3rd gear. A bit of a mistake actually if you've gone in 2nd, but not too bad. We're still into 9th place, and we're defending very well, and we know if we can just hold up Perez. I mean, for right now, I've fed the pace. We're not getting ditched by Massa, who's behind, I think, another Toro Rosso of Kvyat, and he wasn't getting away, so we had the pace. And I thought, you know what, just continue on, just hold up his cars as much as possible, and we are fighting points right now. And once again, Perez goes past us. We're going to try and go around the outside here, and we're going to let Sainz have the room. We're going to around the outside of Perez as well, up the inside, and that should be the move done. Again, we're at the same area as last lap, and we get the move done into 9th place. So, yeah, brilliant driving right now, and just trying to defend as hard as we can, because we know we have the pace right now. We have the pace, and we want to keep hold of this position as long as we can, because anything can happen in this race, and it's all about trying to get the strategy correct. But I didn't know what strategy was in this race, so I just sort of guessed, did what I could, and lap 5 we're still into ninth place, but at this point in lap 5, Kim Magnusson's actually out of the race and safety car has been deployed, and you know, this changes the race over a little bit. Now everyone closes up, and now we're looking for a good race. But I thought to myself, maybe we should pit on the safety car. I think maybe that's a good wise decision. 27 laps of this race, we've got 22 laps to go, and maybe we can make something work here. So we're gonna go into the pits in this lap, and we're gonna actually slow down for the pit limiter. Actually, yeah, we'll slow down in the green, and across we go, and safety car. So we're into the pits to serve our stops, and a lot of people have done the same thing actually. So we're gonna go and set up soft tyres. Hopefully they'll last for the remains of the race, but maybe to be sure, I should go on the mediums, maybe. But on the tyres we go, and we're into, we'll probably be right at the back, actually behind Fiat. So we're joining the car queue, and pretty good stop actually for Manor as well. So pretty decent, got started very well. And we're going to just try and focus on the race. Hopefully we can get these tyres to the end, but I feel at the stage that maybe we should try and pit again. Then that would be a decision we make, but we're actually doing quite well right now. And Kvyat's going quite slowly, and this is one thing I found with the AI, they're very slow. But now, we started the race, and Hulkenberg actually had a blowout right in front of us, and actually, even though we closed all the way up, I mean, in the safety car period, it caused a gap, and here we go, we're getting really held up here. I'm waiting for the green, and in a sector, I'm going to go, and everyone's very slow off the mark, and we're going to go streaming past to get a low positions, and up to 11th place is actually where we were at the start of the very race, before getting up to 9th. So, until 11th place right now, Gutierrez is actually in front of us, but these guys in front of us need to pit. So we're actually in a good position right now, and hopefully we can save these tyres. Being right at this stage, I was thinking park the bus. I was thinking park in the bus, save the tyres, be careful on the brakes, be careful on the speed of corners. Don't like oversteer out. That's caused a lot of problems with our tyres. I think that's just the long haul, and just try and save the tyres, which we could actually do. And it comes to lap 10 right now, and we're still in 11th place. We've got Nazar going slowly, and this is going to be for 1 point, and we should be able to get past him. And here we go. Yep, and we get past him into 10th place. He had a problem with the car, and there you go. We're in position and doing very well. Rosberg actually going slowly as well. I think he had a pit stop. But there you go, up into the points. We're still in the points at lap 10 of this 27 lap race. We have a very good chance. It's our best chance to get points. We need to make the rest of it. And so far, so good for us. But we're actually into lap P8 now, and everyone's pit side of the pit. And I was thinking at the stage, my teammate actually was behind us at one stage, and he actually pitted. And I was thinking, you know what, I'm going to pit this lap, and we do decide to pit it once again for a set of soft tyres to cover our backs here. I could have stayed out and parked the bus, but it would be better just to have the tyres for the end of the race and be sure. And in hindsight, maybe actually on the mediums for my first stop of the race. But we're going to come in for set of soft tyres again, go to the end, 14 laps. I should be able to get the tyres to the end. The degradation isn't too high on this track, and luckily the way I was driving this race is trying to not lock up, trying not to spin the rear tyres up, just trying to be nice and everything, look after the car, look after the tyres. The way I was driving, I was able to cope with the tyres until the end of the race. So let's set up brand new soft tyres. We're actually in 12th place, so actually in my head we're in front of Verline as well, and Verline was right behind us before lap 4, so we're in front of him. And the thing is, right now, to be honest, at this stage of the season, it's not so much about scoring points, even if points are going to be fantastic. It's all about trying to beat our teammate, and actually Grosjean's going to pass us right now. I'm going to try and fight back here. This is actually towards the end of the race, something much happened. I'm going to try and go wheel to wheel with Grosjean, and this was fantastic. We were battling away with Grosjean, with cars, and we were racing. It was just great to be there. But obviously our main objective was to actually beat Verline in the race, because to be honest, like, it's one thing scoring points, but another thing is to beat our teammate, and that's really what I cared about. And because he was behind us, we had to pit. But here comes Grosjean once again on another attack. Up the inside we go. Again, we're not looking at our cars, we're not pushing the car too hard. We're going to hold him up a little bit. Verline's actually in P12. And again, as I said, our main objective was here to beat our teammate. That's all we cared about. As long as we did that, that's all that matters. And points is points. It's great to have hit a point here and there. But sometimes it's better if we actually do score the points, do score against our teammate in the battles on track, and that was the main thing. But here, last lap, we see that Vettel's on the race, a fantastic race win from him, and we've got Massa behind us. He's battling, and a little bit of argy-bargy there, but we're still, and we got a little bit wide there. And the fair, I had the corner, but I understood why. It didn't really matter about that. Who cares? We're battling for 11th place. Doesn't really matter. And it's no reward really. But we were actually worth catching Ericsson actually one stage. He actually had a problem like Nazar had, but unfortunately we weren't able to beat him because he fixed the problem, the team fixed the problem for him. So I thought 10th was still on the cards, but unfortunately it went out of grasp. And in hindsight, I feel maybe we should have actually gone the medium tyres, made them stretch out the whole race, because I felt when we had track position, no one could get past us. We had ways to get around people and make moves on people, and other people in front of us had to make stops anyway. So maybe we could have done a better job. And hadn't Hulkenberg blown his engine up just after the safety car came in, you know, and separated the group, it would have been better. But here comes Massa on his DRS right now. Is he going to make the move? Yes, he gets past it very easily, but we're not giving up this without a fight. We're continuing on. This is the last sector. We didn't want to let him go and go up the inside. Locking up a lot, and Vettel get past us, but I could not care less going off strike, to be fair. I don't care. This is 11th place, and criticize me all you like, but I do not care. This is for 11th place in the end of the day, and this is going to be the team's best result. I think Verline got 3rd to 14th at China, so in some ways we may just let Massa go, but being in a position of the points is good. We didn't have any upgrades to this track, and to be honest, to finish here in 11th place, I think it's a very good result. It's a good result for us guys for the season. At 11th place, our career best in this season so far, and points are not far away. You know, if we did the right strategy in this race, we would have scored points, and that's a pretty good result for us. 11th place, and Vettel wins the race, so yeah, pretty good.
So, another excellent win from Ferrari. And I have to wonder, Anthony Davidson, just what set them apart from the competition here.
The difference was clearly in the strategy. You could tell they'd done a lot of work on the pit wall to really optimise each stint and get the most out of the tyres. And it highlights just how much of a team sport this really is. But credit to the driver as well, though. There's no good having a well-oiled machine behind the scenes without a talented hand on the wheel, of course.
And as we can see, it's time for the podium, and as the drivers make their way out, there's a familiar red suit making its way to the top step. Fantastic win for Ferrari.
So guys, this has been this race. Us finishing in 11th place, I had Vettel, Raikkonen, Hamilton, Verstappen, Ricciardo, Alonso, Bottas, Perez, Gutierrez, Ericsson, ourselves in 11th place, Massa in 12th. Good race from us. And then we've got Palmer, Nazar, and Kvyat, Button, Grosjean, and then Sainz, Verline, Rosberg, and then we had Hulkenberg and Magnussen, who were our DNF. So very good race, guys, from us. Finishing 11th place. That's good for us in the drive championship as well, because that's the best result that anyone out of the group who have not scored points yet. You know, it's a good result. Actually, that's an 18th place behind Marcus Ericsson, who actually has scored a point for Sauber, the only point for Sauber. So we're doing fantastically well in front of that group who haven't scored a point yet. And if we keep, it's funny, if we don't score any points and we keep that position, we're going to be finishing in 18th. But we're still in 11th place for Manor in the Construction Championship, and that's pretty good. A pretty good job from us this weekend. We're very close to the points. I think we're going to hopefully update the car throughout the season, and I think we're getting closer to those points that we need. And actually, 713 resource points. That should be enough to upgrade our car and put some resource points, put the chassis upgrade onto the car for Spain. I mean, I was thinking of doing it for Monaco, if we couldn't do it for Spain, but obviously for Spain, if we can introduce an update for that track, obviously a lot of the updates done in real life are done at Spain for the first updates of the season, so to have the update is good. But we see here, Verline actually went faster than us in the race, so we're using our rivalry to Verline, but it does increase our position in the team. That should put us, pretty much very close to the second, getting closer to achieving the objectives. Career score, all that stuff you need to know. But that's a really good race again. Russia, good race. We're very close to the points. Our career best finish, and we just need to tuck away a little bit more. And here's a contract event. Here we go.
Hey, you'll like this. I just got out of a meeting with the boss, and well, congratulations. You've done a great job. Here.
So we've actually got some good news. We're actually promoted to #1 driver in the Manor. And that's great. That's great, and that's really good for our confidence actually. So guys, that's brilliant. Even though we're getting beaten by Verline, that's brilliant for us to be promoted to #1 driver. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe for more content on the channel, and I'll see you for another video. Let's guys.